and it's a fair deal for both.
This now implements on car tariffs and aerospace, our really important agreement.
This is a very good day for both of our countries, a real sign of strength. So thank you again, Donald. A really important day for both of us.
Great people, great people.
At least 15 people have been killed and dozens injured in Russian strikes on Kiev. Ukraine says 440 drones and 32 missiles were launched at the country. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, here we go. Another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Again, thanks for joining us. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports you need to get out the door here on this Tuesday, the 17th day of June for 2025. Going to be talking about some great performances last night in the College World Series and a weather delay that forced a suspension of the game between UCLA and LSU. All that and more is coming up. Danny Busboom Kelly, the head volleyball coach for Nebraska, has landed the number one player in the class of 2027. We'll tell you who she is. The Nebraska softball team has added a talented outfielder to its roster for next season. The Nebraska baseball team making a couple of moves as well. They picked up a transfer from Augustana yesterday. Also plucked a junior college infielder out of the transfer portal. The Nebraska football team also in the news yesterday. They have landed a big 6'5", 305-pound offensive lineman from Biloxi, Mississippi. Hastings Sodbusters on the road last night. They picked up a win at the Oahe Zap as they will move on to Spearfish for their game tonight. We had the NBA, and NBA was in action last night. NHL going to be in action tonight. So all that and more coming up for you as we get you out the door here on this Tuesday morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning. Hello.
And a good morning, full plate, on tap for today with the Thunder and Pacers battling out, duking it out last night. If you could catch some of the action in between the weather warning breaks that were firing off with some severe weather last night. But OKC takes care of biz, and I went running away with that down the stretch. So Thunder flex a little bit, but the top story's got to be Gage Wood, right? Arkansas gets the Rock in an elimination game. You're taking on the Cinderella, the darlings of the tournament, and fourth seeded in their own regional. Coming up all the way through the regional to supers to flying high past Duke into the College World Series. Elimination game, gotta have it. It's an Arkansas-born kid, and all he does is damn near flirt with protection. 28 batters ultimately faced. He ended up hitting a batter in the eighth inning, and just great performance. No-hitter, third in College World history since 1960, the first one since 1960, so couldn't ask for a better pitching performance. The kid was absolutely dialed in. As they say in today's generation, he shoved, and went 9 scoreless, 9 no-hit innings. Just brilliant pitching performance, and quite frankly, Mike, they needed every single one of his strikeouts. I mean, he fanned 18 strikeouts in the ball game, and needed every single one of them because Arkansas only was able to get 3 runs across themselves. They were facing an equally dominant pitcher in the opposing mound, and so needed to have that kind of performance for Arkansas to pick up that win. Great for Dave Van Horn, great for the Hogs, and just great for that young man's draft stock, by the way. Can you imagine waking up, you're not even the ace on the Arkansas Razorback squad. Next thing you know, your draft stock is shooting way up to a potential first rounder because of a no-hit performance in the College World Series on the biggest stage.
Yeah, 19 batters that he struck out yesterday. So kudos to Gage Wood. Arkansas will play another elimination game tonight at 6 against the loser of the UCLA-LSU game. Now, that game was suspended last night because of weather that moved through the Omaha area, with LSU leading 5-3 in the third inning. So they'll resume that game at 10 this morning. Then you've got the 1 o'clock game between Oregon State against Louisville. And then the 6 o'clock game tonight is going to pit Arkansas against either UCLA or LSU. So it's kind of typical for the College World Series. You're always going to have some kind of a weather snafu thrown into the schedule, and it happened last night in Omaha with the storms moving through. So they'll play the rest of that UCLA-LSU game this morning at 10. The loser will have to come back and play another game at 6 o'clock tonight. But the College World Series, they'll stay on track, so to speak. They'll just have additional action today with that third game there on the slate.
Will they, though? Like, stay on slate? There's calls for some more weather.
Yeah, tonight could be going through the same scenario. Tonight could be some more severe weather moving through the states. They
gotta find a window.
Yeah, I got to find a window of opportunity to play. We had that at the state baseball tournament this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you and I both took off on, I think it was a Monday. So there's no way we're going to play today.
Mm-hmm.
There's an 80% chance of rain. And we get to the game. We sit down. We do the game. There's a window of opportunity to play. And the state hit that exactly right.
We snuck through it.
Yeah, we got to it. So anyway, there's more severe weather anticipated tonight somewhere in the state. Hopefully it stays away from the Omaha area. Had some severe weather last night. Evidently, it moved through the Hastings area around 10:15 last night. Didn't hear it.
Are you saying evidently because you were in bed by then?
I was in bed by then.
Oh, wow.
And obviously I was racked out because I didn't hear it. I heard the wife getting up.
Sure.
And milling around the house. I don't know what she was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
As she was milling around the house.
Probably just getting, like, the flashlights, the if the power goes out, kit ready.
Flashlights.
Probably, yeah.
The candles. Evidently, she told me this morning, didn't you hear that last night? I said, no. She says, we were in a severe thunderstorm warning from 10:15 to 10:45. I said, great. I was sleeping. I know you were. You didn't even roll over.
Dangerously impression.
So well.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. It was high winds, right? And there was some pretty strong gusts. You look around the city. There's a couple streets where there's some down tree limbs and currently blocking the roadway. Saw some of those this morning on the Hastings pages and the group chats. It was some strong winds, but I think that we were really excited because it was our first real severe weather event of the season. I don't know. I just like.
Did we get a lot of rain last night or not?
I don't think we did. I don't think we got hardly any.
Got a little bit of rain.
I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't think we got hardly any. I don't have a rain gauge that I go out and actively check. I don't know how long the precipitation has been sitting in that rain gauge the first time. Like I don't empty these things. It's just not one of my. It's not one of my.
Do you have a rain gauge?
I have a rain gauge. I don't even know if the rain gauge works or how long it's.
Well, it works if you empty
the backyard. Yeah, sure.
It works if you empty the rain gauge every day.
I'm not a rain gauge person.
Yeah, I could care less.
Yep, same.
I don't care if we had 38 100ths or 52 100ths of an inch of rain last night.
It doesn't impact my daily decisions on my lawn care. I kind of eyeball that. If the grass looks long, I mow it. If the grass looks good, I don't water it. If it looks like it needs some water, I'll toss some water on it. Like that's kind of my simple eyeball test when it comes to lawn care. So I'm not a big rain gauge guy.
A lot of people that have underground sprinklers like you do have them tied to some sort of a system where it knows on whether or not it should turn on or not.
Oh, sure.
As you might expect, I think the IT guy has something very similar to that.
Sure.
It'll sense that your lawn needs to be watered, depending on how much rain fell, and it's got some kind of a mechanism that calculates all that stuff. So
No, I don't want a computer gauging my lawn. Anyways, here, back to the original point, like we're circling back. 60-mile-per-hour winds and maybe some penny-sized hail. I didn't, and I'll be the first to say it, like, I didn't think that warranted all of the wall-to-wall coverage on ABC last night. I just didn't. It's the NBA Finals. I'm watching...
God, you're going to be one of those guys.
No, I'm going to be one of those guys because it was 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Well, it was not just in our immediate area out west where NTV is strong out that way. They did have some tornadoes and stuff out there. And we go through this all the time. We go through this all the time when there's a severe weather. And why are you interrupting the NBA playoffs for severe weather coverage? Why are you interrupting the race because we've got a severe thunderstorm warning out in North Platte?
Because we're Nebraskans and we know that it storms.
I know, but tornadoes
we're
are a different thing.
Well, I get that. But 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail wasn't. And once those tornadoes died down and the tornado activity was minimal, at that point, let me get back to the damn game.
God. Don't you have a streaming service you could go to for NBA?
No, I don't.
You should have some kind of a streaming service so you don't have to worry about
sure,
what
but the
they're
streaming
doing.
service is tied into the local channel, so...
Are they?
Yeah.
No, you can get probably an NBA pass that bypasses...
You could get an NBA, but I'm not going to buy an NBA pass. I don't watch that much NBA as it is. Like, the fact that I actually actively tuned in to watch basketball yesterday was...
It was interrupted by severe weather coverage.
Correct.
All right.
So
Get off your soapbox.
It's not even a soapbox, right? I understand there are conditions that warrant, there are life-saving messages that can be read, but 60-mile-per-hour winds is not among them, in my book, in my estimation. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
you'll probably be on an island again all by yourself.
That's fine. Ty's Island. I can camp out there.
We must have had some winds because my grill cover blew off last night.
Oh yeah, no, there was some good wind gusts.
But fortunately, my grill cover got wrapped around my deck, the railing of my deck, so it didn't blow down the street, or I lost my grill cover.
Didn't go anywhere, right?
It just blew, and it conveniently wrapped around my railing of my deck.
Is it a Kansas City Chiefs grill cover?
No, it's not. I should get one though.
Is it a Nebraska Huskers grill cover?
It's just a plain old Menards. You go out and buy a grill cover.
You should get yourself
those
a
would
Chiefs
be
grill
some
cover.
great ideas, though.
I just planted that seed for Christmas, by the way.
I know, but now my birthday is over. Father's Day is over. You could have gave those great ideas to my kids who are always wanting to figure out what
we
to
never
buy
talked
me.
about the grill cover until it was on your front deck.
I know, but my birthday is over.
Yep.
Father's Day is over. My anniversary is over for the year. My kids were looking for ideas to get mom and dad for anniversary and our birthdays, and you come up with a great idea right there.
That's what I do. So whatever happened to just because gifts?
Kansas City Chiefs grill cover or a Nebraska Huskers grill cover?
Whatever happened to just because gifts? There you go. You're welcome.
Maybe they'll put it down for next year.
I think you're going to have one by this weekend.
I don't need one by this weekend. Anyway, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning on the Huddle Up. Tim Strom is going to join us again at 7:30, we understand.
That's my understanding,
Head baseball coach at Adams Central. He's got the VIP pass to this show anytime he wants to get on. He messaged you and I yesterday and said, hey, the All-State selections are out. You want me to come on the show tomorrow to talk about it? I said, whatever you want to do, Timmy boy.
That's yeah.
whatever you want to do. So he's going to join us at 7:30. Adams Central well represented in the all-state selections for baseball, so we'll talk about that at 7:30 this morning. Did have some severe weather out in the North Platte area, I think, last night. Wellfleet. Mm-hmm. I don't even know where Wellfleet is.
It's out by North Platte.
It's around in North Platte somewhere. They had some tornadoes, and they had some great pictures.
There's some impressive tornadoes.
Yeah, out in Wellfleet, Nebraska.
That's one of those.
I haven't heard of any major damage out that way, but evidently they had some tornadoes out at Wellfleet.
That was one of those when I was doing severe weather coverage up in the Sandhills. They were the most frustrating ones to do because they were technically in your listening area, but they were also technically impacting absolutely nothing because they're just going across land. There was like no immediate danger to citizens. Maybe some agriculture, livestock was thrown in there, but you would track these storms and it would be like, there's not a town that this is going to hit for 20, 35 miles. And I'm monitoring a storm that's quite literally out in the pasture. That was one of those frustrating severe weather coverage stories of being in the Sandhills, but I digress. When you look at the photos, man, that thing was impressive.
Yeah, I did see a picture of, I think it was a horse or a cow. I can't remember what it was, a horse or a cow, and his little pin with a tornado behind it.
Yeah, that was funny.
And that was out around the Wellfleet area. So anyway, I think we got some listeners out around the North Platte to listen to this show. If there's any damage out that way, you can certainly give us a call. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. Make sure you dial the right number. 402. What's so hard about our number? People are having problems calling our number, and they get
Why are you pluraling it?
How difficult is this? 402-834-1330. Put it in your speed dial.
Ask him when he calls in why it's been so difficult.
Yeah, Stroman. He's called internationally. Yesterday he called Oregon.
I think he called like an oil drilling place out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, just put it in your speed dial and put it in there correctly, and then you don't have to worry about it any longer.
This is great.
So anyway, 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. That's our fan line. You want to get on today? Want to talk about anything on your mind, either sports related or not? Leave us a message on all of our social media sites as well. We are monitoring those as well. So we talked to College World Series. Got a ton of recruiting news coming up out of Nebraska today involving football and baseball and softball and volleyball. Everybody got in the action yesterday. Hastings Sodbusters on the road last night. They played at the Oahe Zap. Mm-hmm. Picked up an 11-2 win last night. They're going to move on and play at Spearfish tonight. We talked about the NBA playoffs. Jalen Williams, big night last night, scored 40 to lead Oklahoma City past Indiana 120-109, which covers that 9.5-point spread that we talked about yesterday.
It's almost like we told you should get on that spread.
Yeah, fifth game of the NBA Championship Series. Yeah, and did they make a run in between severe weather messages? Did they have to make a run there at the end to cover that 9.5-point spread, or were
they
were
did.
they in?
I mean, they really did. Indiana was down like double digits in the third quarter, midway through, and then Indiana went on a run to kind of end the third and really close the gap. As we got to about the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter, I want to say it was probably a 3-possession ball game. It was well within that spread. And then all of a sudden, OKC just couldn't miss from long range. I mean, they knocked down, I think, 3 threes in a row at one point, and next thing you know, you're looking up and you got a double-digit lead, and they're covering that spread. And, yeah, Williams just he lifted the thunder on his back and went into total game control as OKC got past Indiana in game number 5.
3-2 now. Thunder leading that series. Game 6 coming up Thursday at Indiana.
They go.
I think I said
go back, right?
Yeah, I think I said at the beginning of the series I would take OKC in 6 games. They can do it Thursday night. God, I look like I know what the hell I'm talking about.
Can they do it on the road though?
Yeah, Indiana might have cashed in. Might have threw in the chips. White flag up.
5-point favorite, OKC, Game 6, for a chance to clinch.
Yeah, so I said 6 games. They're at 3 games to 2. Told you last night that Oklahoma City would cover that 9.5-point spread. They win by 11. God, I look like I know what the hell I'm talking about.
I'll say this. If Indiana wins Game 6, I think the Pacers can win Game 7.
Game 7 would be back at OKC, wouldn't
If OKC opens up the door and doesn't take care of business on Thursday, at that point, momentum swings heavily in the favor of Indiana, and I think they can get it done.
Slam the door, OKC.
You got to get it done when the opportunity's there.
Slam the door.
Slam the door. We need another hot button. Slam the door. Speaking of slam the door, Florida has that opportunity tonight on the ice, 7 o'clock. They'll drop the puck against Edmonton. I think the heavy public favorite right now with home ice advantage, an opportunity to win the cup on your home ice. All signs pointing towards the Florida Panthers. That puck drop again gets underway at 7 p.m.
They favor tonight, obviously.
Heavy favorite.
Heavy favorite. You should go the other way then. Maybe Edmonton wins tonight. Wouldn't that be great? Edmonton wins tonight, tie up the series at 3-3. Then to go back to Edmonton for the deciding 7th game?
No, I don't think it would be great. Because I said Florida.
You said Florida in 6, didn't you? Florida in 7.
Florida in 6.
All right, so Stanley Cup could wrap up
I didn't
tonight.
be right.
So. All right. So there's some of the things, some of the headlines here today. So you wake up with Mike and Tyson. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports at 7:21.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
This just in from the Hastings Utilities. Power was restored at 6:41 after the overnight storm caused 177 outages and issues around town. Most issues were tree damage to power lines. The largest area of the outage was the Lockland area, which was caused by 2 blown junction fuses at Lockland Road and Baltimore Avenue. Again, that just in from Hastings Utilities as of 11 minutes ago. The threat of severe weather continues today after seeing high winds and downed branches in the aftermath of last night's storm system that we could argue was the area's first real severe weather event of the season. By Friday, however, much of the state is expected to experience a dramatic temperature increase, with highs reaching triple digits. The rapid transition from severe storms to extreme heat underscores the volatile nature of Nebraska's weather patterns. AKA, give it 5 minutes and it'll change. The new facility for Nebraska Department of Correctional Services is currently under construction. Project aiming to address overcrowding and enhance rehabilitation programs with the state's correctional system. The facility is expected to provide modern amenities and improve security measures. Completion is anticipated in the coming months, with the facility slated to begin operations shortly thereafter. Data is in from the Nebraska Department of Motor Vehicles as during the month of May of 2025, 16 people were killed in traffic crashes on Nebraska roadways. 16 fatalities occurred in 14 of those crashes. 4 of the 13 vehicle occupants killed were not using seatbelts. 6 were using a seatbelt, and 3 had seatbelt usage marked as unknown. 15 of the fatalities were in rural locations. There was 23 fatalities in May of 2024. Only 25 of the 69 vehicle occupants killed during 2025 were using seatbelts. It is now 7:23. We'll spin things back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, Arkansas's Gage Wood pitched the 3rd no-hitter in Men's College World Series history, and the first in 65 years to lead Arkansas to a 3-0 win over Murray State in the elimination game of the College World Series yesterday. Wood struck out a record 19 batters. Arkansas will play another elimination game tonight at 6 against the loser of the UCLA-LSU game. That game was suspended last night because of the weather, with LSU leading 5-3 in the 3rd inning. It will resume at 10 this morning, And the other game at 1 today, Oregon State will play Louisville. Nebraska volleyball coach Danny Busboom Kelly has landed the number 1 player in the class of 2027. Kendall Omare has committed to the Huskers as a sophomore at Castillo High School in Queen Creek, Arizona. She hit .342 and recorded 2.7 kills per set. She posted 281 kills, 82 blocks. Omare joins Norris High School center Mallory Businger in the 2027 class. Businger is the number 14 prospect in that class. The Nebraska softball team has added talented outfielder Hannah Core to its roster for next season. Core, who spent the previous 4 years at Oklahoma, will have 1 year of eligibility remaining. She played in 152 games for the Sooners with 25 starts. She has a career batting average of .279 with 6 doubles, 3 homers, and 23 RBIs. Defensively, Core has never committed an error in her collegiate career. One of the top Division II transfer arms in the Midwest is headed to Lincoln for his final season of eligibility. J.D. Hannon of Augustana will play his final season with the Huskers after 3 successful seasons at the D2 level. The 6', 205-pound right-hander put together a strong junior season at Augustana, going 7-2 with 10 starts with a 4.29 earned run average. In 56 2/3 innings, Hennon struck out 74 batters, with opponents hitting just 187 against him. The Nebraska baseball team has also picked up a junior college infielder from the transfer portal. Nico Newhan has 3 years of eligibility remaining. This spring at Grossmont College, Newhan had a .380 batting average with 19 home runs and 61 RBIs. The Nebraska football team has landed a 6'5", 305-pound offensive lineman from Biloxi, Mississippi. Hayden Ainsworth chose Nebraska over an offer from North Carolina State. He also held offers from Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Oklahoma, and more. He is rated as a 4-star offensive tackle. He becomes a 6th member of Nebraska's 2026 recruiting class. Hastings Sodbusters scored 6 runs in the 7th inning last night to beat the Oahe Zap 11-2. The Sodbusters hammered out 14 base hits in the ball game. Hastings now 13-4. They'll play at Spearfish tonight. First pitch will be at 7:05. And the Kansas City Royals in action tonight. They'll open up a series at Texas. First pitch will be at 7:05. That's a check on your sports headlines. 7:27 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Well, a 2-day reprieve from the heat's coming, not only today, but also Wednesday. 80 the high today, Wednesday the high 81. A few lingering showers out there on this Tuesday morning. Other than that, we will have the next chance of rain. Will be very hit or miss through the evening hours to overnight hours tonight. 61 is the overnight low, 81, as I said, the high Wednesday. And then as we get to Thursday, we're back to the low 90s and upper 90s, almost 100 degrees Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday.
As you wake up, get going here this morning. We've got south winds, 7 miles per hour. It's cloudy. It's 65 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydromassage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class winged beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
Mike Wells, Tyson O'Brien with you. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday, the 17th day of June, 2025. Thanks for joining us, whether you're listening online at our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, on your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us. Thanks for joining us. Waiting for Tim Stroman to check in with us, the head baseball coach for Adams Central. Going to be talking about some all-state selections for baseball coming up. Dropping off his kid.
Yeah.
It's the honey-do list today. He's dropping off his kid, and then he'll have to try to ring the right phone number to get into our fan line at 402-834-1330.
Excited to talk to Tim this morning. We'll talk some AC baseball all-state selections and reminisce on the campaign that was for Adams Central Baseball and pick his brain on some matters happening in the MLB. His favorite team, the Colorado Rockies, they're on a 2-game winning streak, as Tim's calling in now. So let's get him hooked up, and we'll get him ready to roll.
Yeah, the Rockies picking up a win. Tim's on top of the world, so he wants to get on and chat with us here on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday. Good morning, Mr. Stroman.
Good morning to my two favorite radio hosts.
Oh, jeez. Well, let's talk about your Rockies first. Let's just get it off of your chest. You're beating your chest now this morning. The Rockies, all of a sudden, since we've been digging them the past couple of weeks, they go on a 2-game winning streak. Holy cow. What is happening in Colorado?
We're back, baby.
You're playing the Nationals.
We are playing the Nationals. You know, they have lost their last 8 games, but, you know, baby steps. one more game, but it's a winning streak, right?
God, can they take that series? Can they take that series?
You know, they took a series against Tampa Bay, and I didn't even like listening to the guys after the post-game interview because it sounded like they won the World Series. It's like, yeah, guys, we just won our 9th game. It's not like it's our 9th out of 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 30. No, it's like our 9th out of 60. So, they need a little bit of spark. And it was good to see them. I was forced to watch another game, and it was good to see them win. So,
my big question is today, Tim, how many attempts did it take to get into the show today? How many misdialed numbers did you make, or did you get it on the first crack today?
Well, it didn't start with an international ringtone, so I knew I was in good shape, but, better shape than some days. But Tyson actually messaged it to me today, so all I had to do was click it. So it's going to be a good day.
Little assist goes a long way. Let's talk all-state selections. That's the main reason we brought you on the program this morning. Those coming out yesterday from the state of Nebraska, and as expected, with the season AC had plenty of Patriots lining up on the all-state selections. Your thoughts on what was an incredible season for AC baseball, and now some postseason accolades for your boys.
Yeah, I know we touched on a lot of the season stuff. But, yeah, for these kids to get some personal recognition for their hard work, I like to see, obviously, as many names as we can. And, first teamers this year, we had Caleb Wallmeyer and Nick Musel, who I think are two excellent selections. And then honorable mentions, we had, I think, 6. With Jacob Reichstein, Cohen Rader, Hunter Nepple, Jaron Johnson, Jackson Shagru, and Owen Brown. Mm-hmm. So to see 8 of our guys, that's almost a starting lineup in the all-state selection. That just shows you how hard these guys really worked for us this spring. And there's probably some names on here that didn't reach it. I think one that kind of surprises me was Krejci a little bit, but 8 out of the 9, all these guys deserve to be on this list, and I'm super happy for them. I reached out to all of them personally, and congratulated them and told them all their hard work has paid off. We didn't obviously make the state championship game, but again, this group of guys, this individuals, the senior class put us in yet another position that Adams Central Baseball has never been in. So the fact that they're getting recognized personally, I really like to see.
Yeah, Adams Central, again, setting a school record as far as wins are concerned in a season this year, so a very successful campaign. Let's talk about those first-teamers right off of the bat here. A lot of these guys are still playing Allegiant baseball, so they're still out of the diamond for Hastings 5 Points Bank. So we still call their names, Coach, but these guys that are on the first team, Caleb Wallmeyer and Nick Musel, a big part of your success for the 2025 campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were 2 guys that, Caleb had been in the, I wouldn't necessarily just say in the first team spotlight the last season that I coached him, being my first year. But when I first came in, I knew that these 2 guys were going to be key contributors. And Caleb, we could start with him. He's a guy that, we have another school record that I don't really like to promote as much, but we have the most guys going on to play college baseball this year, and that's only 2, with the possibility of a third. But Caleb's a guy that works just as hard off the field as he does on the field. Not a lot of people know that he's a 4.0, that he received the only full-ride medical scholarship that they offer at UNK this year. So when people ask me why he isn't going to go play college baseball somewhere, he's got just as many good things happening for him off the field as he does on the field. And it's just, he's he's the type of kid that I like to, Nick Tonant was last year and Caleb's this year. We have kids being stand-up and stand-out individuals on the field and off the field, and that's the one thing that I really stress to these kids, probably more than producing on the field, is to be good people off the field and be well-rounded individuals. And Caleb's going to be a guy that we're going to really miss graduating. He's been, I don't hand out captains, but in terms of leaders, he's a guy that does everything right. I mean, he's a guy that you want up in your clutch situations. He's a guy that you want making a play with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. He's even a guy you could throw out there on the mound. I mean, you put him on any other Class C team, he's probably their number 2 or 3 pitcher. And then you have Nick Moosel, who pitched majority for us 2 years ago, and then this year gave him another opportunity to play in the outfield, and the kid, his bat was hot. I didn't even want to touch it. He just was a big in peak situations, would hit the ball hard, had a great approach all year, and he's the same type of individual that Caleb is. I mean, I think there's got to be some sort of correlation to that when the 2 first-team All-State kids that we have on our team are 2 kids that are just like model citizens and model students of Adams Central.
And Tim Stroman joining us here on the line this morning as we talk some all-state selections and recap and look ahead for Adams Central baseball. And Tim, looking ahead, back-to-back state tournament appearances for Adams Central baseball in the first 2 seasons for you. A wild card berth last year, a district championship route this year. A foundation has been built for this program. And the culture of Adams Central baseball. And then you look at the honorable mentions, and 3 of those 6 kids are underclassmen. And so the foundation is set for, I think, success for a couple of years to come. Now you have 3 of these 6 that have honorable mentions and know what it takes to play Patriot baseball, know what it takes to play at that state caliber. And I think you got to be really excited, even though we're graduating a ton of talent. Still have to be excited as you look ahead at what the future is in store for this Adams Central baseball team.
You're exactly right. And obviously, coming in as a new coach, we wanted in a new staff. Essentially, we still had a couple guys from the previous regime, but to set a culture and to set a foundation, I thought was extremely important. Did I think it was going to happen this quickly? No. And that could be a good thing, and it could be something that's going to push us in the face a little bit. But, we set these goals, and I hear all these coaches just really stressing about winning. And you see it a lot at the youth level. But don't get me started in youth baseball. I could talk for days about the problems with that. But, we set these goals, and you can ask every single one of my players, not a single one of our goals revolved around the word win. Our goals were to be focused every inning. Our goals were to win. I guess one was. Sorry, I just contradicted myself. To win as many innings as we can, and if we don't win them, at least respond. So if we give up a 3 spot in the first, we have to gain the momentum back. Doesn't mean we have to score 3, but we need to score. We need to get the momentum back on our side. Our other goals were to increase our 90-foot base running time. Some other goals were to successfully get our bunts down early in the count, so we're not sitting there with 2 wasted pitches on foul ball bunts because we're trying to get base hit bunts instead of sack bunts. So you look at all these goals that we make, and they're daily goals too, daily practice goals, daily season goals. We reevaluate them. We take a look at some of the ones that we're setting, but a lot of them are just to keep kids focused, to keep them working hard. And we don't have a lot of players on our team, but I'll tell you what, that with the 23 kids or 24 kids we had on our roster last year, every single one of them worked the same amount of skill development. Every single one of them worked the same amount of bunt situations. everyone did the same amount of speed and agility drills in the winter, except for those winter athletes. They were lucky. But we implemented a lot of just small things because you never want to make winning your goal. I mean, if you do all the little things right, winning is just going to come. And the kids are going to learn how to be competitors. And they're going to learn what they need to do and how the mistakes that they make to change that. And when you talk about setting up our season, I mean, we played 26 regular season games last year in the course of 5 weeks. And this year, I updated our depth charts actually yesterday. We have 17 kids in our program. And I expect nothing different from those 17 kids. That's a very small number. I think if we can get a freshman class of 5, 6, that'll be a little better. But any more of these classes with 4 kids is really going to hurt us. And I actually added 2 to 3 dates to our schedule. So we play, I think, 28 regular season games this upcoming spring. We still play 60% Class A and Class B schools. And, I kind of got some heat on, or not really heat, but questions on why we do that. And, I try to set these kids up for success, but in my mind, success isn't going out and whooping up on teams 10, 15 runs every game when there's better teams that you could be playing. And I think we learn more and get better as a team by going out and playing those Class A North Platts and Norfolks and playing Gretna East and Norris and Seward. Yeah, if we're not on our game, we're going to get our asses handed to us, and that's part of the plan. It teaches the kids to be focused every game, and I like to use the faceless and nameless opponent to them. And we prepare the same way for everybody every game. And for a small group of kids like that from all walks of life, all talent levels, to buy into a mentality like that, like I said, I didn't think the foundation would be set this early, but from day one, all of these kids have bought into that mentality, and it's just making them better competitors, better athletes. It really puts us in a good position to kind of change the face of Adams Central baseball. I think we have done that. I think last year, the team will have success from time to time, but when you do it back-to-back years, kind of sends a message to the rest of the teams in Class C and teams that we're playing that we're going to try and be in your face as much as we can.
Talk about that a little bit, Tim. You've kind of raised the bar for Adams Central baseball in the 2 years that you have been here. Now, instead of hoping to get to the state tournament, now I think the people around Adams Central baseball, they expect to be at the state tournament at the end of the season. Has that added a little bit of more pressure to you as a coach, maybe you as a program, as a team, to get back to the state tournament again?
It starts from the top. And if the coaches have high expectations of you, the players will have high expectations of themselves. And I don't think that's pressure. I think that's just the rest of the community kind of seeing what we're doing and having those same expectations. Obviously, theirs are a little different. They just see it in terms of we have to make it to state, but it all goes back to that goal setting that I talked about. If we hit our little goals, and not one of them is going to say win 20 games or win an unrealistic amount of games. If we hit our goals in execution and hard work and practice and all those little things that we talked about, I think the state tournament's always going to be something that's, I wouldn't say expected, but reachable and attainable. And it's not an unrealistic goal if you do the little things correctly.
Lou Dog has chimed in, and he's passing along the message. Says, Coach, watching your practices, the routine definitely makes your goals a key focus. Watching your fantasy baseball team lately, Tim, what's going on down there? You have dropped 4 games. You were at the 500 mark 4 weeks ago, and now I look, and you got to work your way up through the bottom of the standings. What's What's going on with do we need to negotiate a trade this week? And how can I help you out, my guy?
Sometimes I get really, really sidetracked with other things. Fantasy NASCAR could be the same thing. I started a retired driver for 4 weeks, not realizing he was retired. Just pissed, like, what is this guy doing? Quitting after a lap or two? Like, gee, many Christmas. Oh, wait, he's got a brother with the same last name or a son with the same last name. But it kind of goes back to the fantasy baseball. I thought maybe all these guys that had the IL 15 and IL 16, that was maybe their first name. So I like the guys that are hurt, apparently. But coming back to Lou Dog's comment about the goals, I'm actually taking a couple sports psychology classes this year to kind of better understand ways that we can approach the mental side of our players. And that's a whole different realm. I'm finding a lot of this stuff interesting because a lot of stuff that we've implemented, not knowing that it really has a positive psychological effect on these players, we've been doing in practice. And our other coaches, Jason Conant, BJ Pomeroy, Matt Overmiller won't be with us next year, but Carter Pratt, all of those guys complement different aspects of the psychological side of the game to help these players even more. Because, you go watch a high school player, and this is one thing I tell our kids, I don't want to be able to look at you and tell whether or not you just hit a home run or whether or not you just struck out. I don't want to be able to look at you and be able to tell if you just made 2 errors in a row or you hadn't made 2 errors all year. And it's interesting to see. And then I'm actually writing a thesis paper on youth sports and the detriment that it's having on the psychological side of the athletic world. And like I said, we can talk for hours, but having a class of 4 freshmen in the size of our town. I know our school's not huge, but baseball's a game. And Tyson, you still love it as much as I do. And these kids need to be enjoying and liking the game of baseball, being excited. Doesn't matter. Like, I'll use our Orioles team, for example. We don't win a lot of games, okay? But you can take a look at them on the field, and each time they take the field, they've gotten better. And after the game or before the game, you can't tell that they don't have a lot of wins. They want to be there. They want to be around their teammates. They want to play. And you have a coaching staff that are good role models for the kids and kind of support them. And, at the high school level, you can ask any of my players. If you make an error or make a mistake, I am not going to yell at you. Okay, I might take you down the line as a team after a game against St. Paul early in the year and say some things to try and wake you up. But it's something you got to be here to support the kids. And I know I'm kind of getting off track here, but it's turned into such just importance on winning at all costs. And it's really having an effect on our youth. And like I said, if we have another class of 3 to 4 freshmen, we're looking at cutting our schedule in half, dropping a JV program.
Right.
It's affecting not only the kids playing, but all the kids that want to play the game. And it's a topic that we could talk for hours about, but it's unfortunate to see that it's gotten to this state. And there needs to be some change. And I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but I do. And I think it's something that needs to be addressed. It needs to be really sat down. I think game changer for the youth level is the worst idea in the world.
Yep.
And there's just so many things that I hope that we can get for the future of our program this in line, because I don't want things that are being done at the youth level to affect these kids' potential success at the high school level.
All right, again, we're talking with Tim Stroman, the head baseball coach at Adams Central, a variety of subjects with us here today. I think, Tim, that would be interesting to get you on some morning, and let's just dive in to the youth sports type of thing. Since you're writing a thesis statement, all that crap that you're doing in your new class, you might as well share some of your thoughts on that. Maybe some morning we'll get together and talk about that.
Well, I would love to, because in that class, it's Coach Hoffman that teaches it, and he's the old Kearney head coach for football, and he was the old Wayne State head coach. And the topic discussions are always the same. And, it's funny that there's not a single youth coach that isn't a either head high school coach or head collegiate coach that's taking this course. And every single coach agrees that youth sports is a problem. And I could tell you as a high school baseball coach, I will never ask you, and I'd say in our first meetings of the year, you don't talk about youth baseball. Like, I don't care how many wins you had when you were 9. I don't care how hard you threw the ball from 45 feet when you were 10. Okay? Like, it doesn't translate to anything that I want to use or anything that's important to me. What's important to me is you were taught the game correctly and that you enjoy playing it. And it comes down to about those two things. And it's just crazy. I wish some of these guys could just see our forum discussions, because there's a lot of high-powered names in this class. I don't want to say any names that are from out of state that I was surprised that are even taking these classes, but they're coaches' names that you would see, recognize, and have no problem identifying. And they all agree that it's a problem and it's affecting. And, you have these youth kids trying to specialize in sports. I tell all of our high schools, I want you to play all three.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't let basketball players even step foot in our baseball workouts until their season's concluded. But I agree, Mike. I think it would be something good to bring on and talk about, because I'd hate for a town of our size, and we've started to see some of it on social media, get talked about in a bad light. When you break it down to its most simplest form, it's a game, and it needs to be fun, and it needs to be enjoyed.
1,000%
It's not something
agree.
where you build up your. It's not something where you build up your youth coaching resume. I mean, nobody gives a shit about that. And I'm sorry for the language, but you kind of got me fired up there. But I will never go up to somebody and say, "Hey, you know what my youth record was?" Even if I was undefeated, I wouldn't say a word. I mean, if I got a coach that applied at Adams Central and said, "Well, I was a 30-10 on my 9U, 10U team," I'd say, "Okay, thanks for the application. I will not be calling you back." I mean, that's blunt and very to the point, but it's the truth of things, and I think some people need some help seeing the truth.
All right, Timmy Boy, we'll let you go for today, but we'll certainly get you back on here later on in the summer to talk about your thoughts there about the youth sports. Always enjoy chatting with you, and I'll get to spend a weekend with you, buddy, over in Kearney. We'll be with that.
Baby.
That Kearney youth team that we were talking about, the Hastings Orioles. I'll be with you this weekend.
You better bring that BP arm, because I'm going to need it.
All right, we'll see you this weekend, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so that's Tim Stroman again. He always has interesting things to talk about. We're going to bring him on for a few minutes.
Yep.
Here this morning to talk about all-state winners.
It's a great topic, though. I mean, and it's quite frankly, like, Mike, I'll be honest, it's the lightning rod in sports. You've got a lot of sports reporters in this state. I mean, just think about Media Row during state basketball week or during state football week. We have a lot of sports reporters in this state that haven't touched the topic of dwindling numbers in high school sports and programs being cut, and the burnout factor that has led to all that is in youth sports. So it's a lightning rod. Nobody wants to talk about it. I've had multiple conversations with Tim on the topic and on the subject. I'll co-sign his thesis. It's that important, I think, as we look at the future of high school sports in this state, to start having that conversation about what we're doing at the youth level to help correct course, so to speak.
And again, we'll bring him on. That's just going to strike something new for us. We'll bring him on later on this summer before we get into the fall sports season and get lost in what's going on. Mm-hmm. We'll get him on to talk about that later on in the summer. So anyway, we're going to be in OT today. Rolling right along here, listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We will start things off with news from Hastings Utilities, where power was restored at 6:41 this morning after the overnight storm caused 177 outages and issues around town. Most issues were tree damages to power lines. The largest area of outage was Lockland, which was caused by two blown junction fuses at Laughlin Road and Baltimore Avenue. As far as the weather forecast is concerned today, the threat of severe weather does continue after we saw the high winds and down branches in the aftermath of last night's storm system that we could argue was the area's first real severe event of the season. However, give the state 5 minutes and it'll change. By Friday, the state is expected to experience a dramatic temperature increase, with highs reaching into triple digits. Meanwhile, a new facility for the Nebraska Department of Correctional Services is currently under construction. The project aims to address overcrowding and enhance rehabilitation programs within the state's correctional system. The facility expected to provide modern amenities and improve security measures, with completion anticipated in the coming months, and the facility slated to begin operations shortly thereafter. 8 a.m. Back to the East Side Studios we go. Mike Will, what's going down in sports?
Well, Arkansas's Gage Wood, he pitched a no-hitter in the Men's College World Series. It's the first one in 65 years, only the third one ever thrown in the CWS. They beat Arkansas beat Murray State 3-0 yesterday in the elimination game. Wood struck out 19. Arkansas will play another elimination game tonight at 6 against the loser of the UCLA-LSU game. That game was suspended last night because of the weather, with LSU leading 5-3 in the third inning. It will resume at 10 this morning. In the other game at 1 today, Oregon State will play Louisville. Nebraska volleyball coach Danny Busboom Kelly has landed the #1 player in the class of 2027. Kendall Omari has committed to the Huskers as a sophomore at Castile High School in Queen Creek, Arizona. She hit .342 and recorded 2.7 kills per set. She posted 281 kills, 82 blocks. Omari joins Norris High School center Mallory Bosinger in the 2027 class. Bosinger is the number 14 prospect in that class. The Nebraska's softball team has added a talented outfielder, Hannah Core, to its roster for next season. She spent the past 4 years at Oklahoma. She'll have 1 year of eligibility remaining. She played in 152 games for the Sooners with 25 starts, has a career batting average of .279 with 6 doubles, 3 homers, and 23 RBIs. Defensively, Core has never committed an error at the collegiate level. Hastings Sodbusters scored 6 runs in the 7th inning last night to beat the Oahe Zap 11-2. The Sodbusters hammered out 14 base hits in the ball game. Hastings now 13-4. They'll play at Spearfish tonight. First pitch will be at 7:05. The Kansas City Royals in action tonight. They'll open up a series at Texas. First pitch will be at 7:05. That's a check in your sports headlines at 8:02 this morning on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Well, a 2-day reprieve from the heat's coming, not only today, but also Wednesday. 80 the high today, Wednesday the high 81. A few lingering showers out there on this Tuesday morning. Other than that, we'll have the next chance of rain. Will be very hit or miss through the evening hours to overnight hours tonight. 61's the overnight low, 81, as I said, the high Wednesday. And then as we get to Thursday, we're back to the low 90s and upper 90s, almost 100 degrees Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday.
South winds this morning at 7, cloudy skies 65 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
June is busting out in live music at Mulata Vista Winery. This is Mick, and there is nothing like a summer's evening out on our patio. especially when it's filled with great music, award-winning wines, and mouth-watering foods. Saturday on June 7th, you can come enjoy country music sounds of Grant Pickrell. Grant is from Fullerton. Then on the 21st, it's classic rock and country from Eben Rosentrader. Make your reservations now on our website at MulattoVistaWinery.com. Come see us, Mulatta Vista Winery, St. Paul, Nebraska. Learn more on Facebook or on our website.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Raceway brings the action every Friday night with high-speed thrills and dirt-flying excitement for the whole family. From A-class and non-wing warriors to junior sprints, junior cage karts, and flat karts, there's something for every race fan to cheer for. Grandstands open at 7. Ages 13 and up are just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free. Want to be part of the action? Pit passes are just $20, with gates opening at 5:30. And mark your calendars. June 27th and 28th, the now 600 National Series comes to town, featuring drivers from all over the nation and some of the best racing you'll see all season. Cam Raceway, where the dirt flies and legends are made.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
All right, Mike Wiltz, Tyson of Bronick. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, the overtime edition of Extreme Sports and
the
Huddle
OT
Up today.
Which the NHL Stanley Cup Finals have had plenty of OT matchups, so might as well call it the Stanley Cup Final Edition as we are in overtime.
I wouldn't put it that way, but hell, we just ran over because we got into a major discussion with Tim Stroman.
It's gonna be a hot topic. That'd be fun. I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Yeah, we're gonna get him scheduled again and talk about what he got off on earlier this morning.
Mm-hmm.
On the problems with the youth sports. Everybody kind of chiming in on our social media sites, supporting what Tim had to say too. So,
yep.
Evidently, there's a lot of people on our island, so to speak.
We are not on the lonely, deserted island like I normally find myself on. I think that I think that we've hit a rail that everybody is aware of, but nobody wants to say because nobody wants to crap on youth sports. But the animal that it's become has given us the opportunity to crap on youth sports a little bit, and I think we're going to take that opportunity to have a real in-depth conversation about it, and because I think it's one that parents and coaches alike need to hear. It's not just the parents of these kids; it's the coaches too. You're burning them out.
Yeah. I'm involved with that, too. I have a grandson that plays youth sports. In fact, he plays for Tim's team.
Yeah.
And we were in Omaha recently. We had 8 games played.
Mm-hmm.
Our opponents already had like 45 games played.
That's insane.
Yeah, in the early part of June.
We're not even in June. I mean, we are now, but we were just barely in June.
Hell, they probably played 70 by now.
And they got indoor facilities. They're not playing basketball because they're warming up on these indoor facilities playing baseball. You're not even getting a well-rounded athletic opportunities at your school, and it's killing some of these programs off.
All right, so we're going to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll schedule that here before.
Dude, I'm fired up. I'm ready to roll.
You are. We get you and Stroman fired up. Hell, I'll never get to talking. That'll be one of the days that maybe I take off.
Right.
One of the days that I just take off, we'll just get you and Stroman on, and you can handle the hour.
You might have to block us an additional hour that day.
Yeah, I'll just get you on there. One of the days I have planned off. Anyway, thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to listen to the show, there's a lot of good stuff on the show today. Go to our podcast section and download our podcast, any one of our social media sites. You'll be able to listen to the show again. We got into, again, an in-depth discussion with Tim Stroman. Initially, we brought him on just for a couple of minutes to talk about the all-state selections for the Adams Central baseball team, but we got off on like 15 other subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're still on the air here at 8:10. But that's
Also,
all right. We can do that
today.
Yeah,
we want to
can
get
do
this
that.
in.
We can do that because it's our show.
We don't have a sandbox to stay in.
No, our show, our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
I'm going to extend it just 1 minute further. We cannot remiss without talking about national days today, and it is National Mascot Day today.
Oh, that's a show in itself. Your favorite mascot.
Yep. Save it. Put it on the front burner. We'll do favorite mascots tomorrow.
Who would that be?
Oh, I know right away. My two, but
your favorite mascot. Put that on the top of the show list ideas for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Your favorite mascot. It's National Mascot Day today, but we got a hangover effect. We'll do it tomorrow. We didn't even get to the Jell-O shot challenge. Who the hell's leading that?
Son of a gun.
I know LSU's got to be leading. And after their game got suspended last night because of the bad weather.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
They had to go into Rocco's and just annihilate the opposition there.
Quadruple down.
Yeah, the LSU is no doubt ahead. But we'll get the totals on that. We could go a whole nother hour.
Couldn't we?
We could.
Here we go. After the rain delay last, oh Jesus, they didn't quite get 20,000, which I was hoping for. Latest totals have LSU at 17,746 Jell-O shots. I repeat, 17,746 Jell-O shots. The next closest is 10,000 down. Murray State, 7,293. Arkansas with 6,675. This is a battle for second place, and Murray State just got eliminated, so I would expect Arkansas to jump Murray State today. But LSU, 17,746 Jell-O shots. That's a lot of freaking Jell-O. Oh, price of Jell-O is going to go skyrocketing in your grocery stores next week.
So as expected, LSU topping the
Jell-O
shots at Rocco's. All right, so that's the show today. Again, the Vision Boys, our network here for Extreme Sports, they're still in Omaha. So we'll have a live coverage from Omaha College World Series throughout the day, so hang in there. This is Central Nebraska's new sports leader. No place to go anywhere else.
It's getting underway early today, by the way.
Yeah, we've got you covered. Yeah, they're at 10 o'clock. They'll resume that LSU game with the UCLA. They're in the top of the third inning, I think it is.
Yep.
And LSU is leading by a score of 5-3. So, anyway, thanks for joining us today. Again, a lot of great things on the show. Listen to the podcast, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock for Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join